Whatever. We are locked in. We are ready to go. It is Halloween. We have a guest. We have a guest who has ties to New Orleans. And if there is a city that screams Halloween in this country, it's New Orleans. And so, Amanda, come on up. Dun dun dun. Here we have our friend Amanda, my little Padawan, making cocktails, and she has spent the week throwing together various Sazeracs. She got herself a book on cocktails from New Orleans, and is graciously sharing that with us. And went through several variations of Sazeracs and found some that you like and some that you.
Most I liked. Most of them.
There was that weird thing with bananas. Yeah. So another trick here: Sazeracs don't have banana in them.
Right.
All right, we're just going to say that up front. So this, so she brought us this, which is the New Orleans cocktails, an elegant collection of over 100 recipes inspired by the Big Easy by Sarah Baird. Right, so it looks like this: cocktails from the Big Easy, made easy. And it has bourbon, a sign says Bourbon Street on it, which would imply that there's going to be a lot of bourbon in here, which, yeah, it would happen.
We have an Elizabeth.
Yay, we have an Elizabeth. This is going to be paired with one of my favorite books about New Orleans and New Orleans cocktail culture, which is Obituary Cocktail. And Obituary Cocktail is just this tribute to some of the great saloons in New Orleans, particularly in the French Quarter, and a cocktail from each. And this was New Orleans Gulf South Booksellers Association Book of the Year, named one of the year's best by New Orleans Times Picayune, et cetera, et cetera. I think the original publication was like 1999. It's a gorgeous book with full-color photographs of some of the great saloons and Antoine's Restaurant and that sort of thing within New Orleans. There are many, many cocktails that are associated with the great city of New Orleans. One of which would be the Hurricane, Pat O'Brien's. There was another one, the Ramos Gin Fizz, clearly out of the Carousel Bar and the Ramos's Bar. But if you think of New Orleans and you think of a cocktail, chances are the cocktail that comes to mind is the Boulevardier. No, just kidding. Is the Sazerac. And so we are going to be playing around with different versions of the Sazerac, mostly by taking the same base recipe and then varying what brand of ingredient goes into it, as opposed to swapping out different kinds of ingredients. But first, as long as we are doing a tribute to New Orleans, we might as well toast with a New Orleans rum. And so I have some Bayou XO. This is their Mardi Gras release.
Ooh.
And we are going to be taking a taste of this. Here's to taking life easy, because there ain't nothing like the Big Easy to get that lesson across.
They say les bon ton roulé.
What she said. So we're taking it easy, and apparently my video is taking it even more easy than we are on the broadcast. So I'm really not sure what's up with that. Well, hopefully we will catch up. In any case, what are we going to do this evening? We're going to do some Sazeracs. We are going to try variations on the Sazerac, but some of the basic research was already done by Amanda. And you may not know this, but the original Sazerac was made with cognac. Right, cognac, there we go. The originals were made with cognac. Cognac became too expensive due to things like, I don't know, war with France. And as a consequence, we over here in the United States, we switched over to using bourbon and rye. And so nowadays when you order a Sazerac, almost always you're going to get rye. And two of the staple ryes in most good bartending establishments will have one or the other of these ryes on hand. These are just solid, everyday workhorse ryes. House, 100 proof, bottled in bond, and the Old Overholt, bottled in bond, 100 proof. These are both just absolute workhorses. Anytime you see ryes, you're going to see one, if not both of these in those top 10 lists. But in doing the research, Amanda found the rye-based Sazeracs, and she likes the cognac-based Sazeracs. What she really likes is a split and rye. So that's what we're going to go with this evening. We are going to do a bunch of Sazeracs, and the base of the Sazerac is going to be 1 ounce of cognac and 1 ounce of rye. And the first is we are going to taste off the VSOP Courvoisier, the VS Courvoisier and the Rittenhouse against the Courvoisier and see what we like. However, there's a problem. You see, while I love my wife and she loves me, what she does not love are Sazeracs. She does not love rye in particular, and she's not terribly hot on the cognac version of this either. So as a consequence, while she's sitting here and being our technical editor, what we should do is make her something that she can drink while and then occasionally sipping on the Sazerac. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. There is 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice, but I need a little more sour than that. And what we have here is passion fruit syrup. And passion fruit syrup has a little tartness and sourness to it. So we're going to round that out with 1/4 ounce of the passion fruit syrup. But I said passion fruit syrup, which means this is also sweet, which is good because we need 2 sweet, right? 1 sour, 2 sweet. Okay, well then let me do this. We're going to go a full ounce of the passion fruit syrup now. And then we're going to put that away. And what goes well with passion fruit? Honey goes well with passion fruit. So we're going to do honey syrup. And this is a mixture, essentially 2 to 1 honey to water.
We have an Elizabeth, a Matt, and a Colleen.
Yay, people are joining us again. Yay.
And Cam is here.
My hands are completely sticky because that jar of honey syrup has that covered.
Matt says Marie Laveau is handling our IT issues tonight.
Yeah, that may very well be the case. All right. What we need is Trace to come in and intervene on our side here. Strong. We're going to go with a Puerto Rican rum with some age on it. Bacardi 10-year. This is good stuff. So we're going to do that. Amanda's happy because she knows I'm just totally riffing at this point. I'm just like, we're going to, whatever. I like seeing my wife shit-faced, so we're going to go with a little Hamilton 151. So this is a Demerara rum, but it comes in at 75.5% alcohol. Right there, full ounce of that. But that's only 2 ounces, so we need a 1/3 ounce here. What are we doing? 1/3 ounce. Oh, shucks. Well, I was going to put a Jamaican in, but the only Jamaican I have up here at the moment, oh no, is Smith & Cross. So we're going to use that. And there's an ounce of Smith & Cross. Why would that probably not be my first choice of Jamaican rum for her? Because I just put 151 in here, and this comes in at 57% alcohol. So this might be a little stiff. What else are we going to do? Well, she loves pineapple. We need 4 week here, and I'm just going to go ahead and put in 3 ounces of pineapple and presume we're going to get the 4th ounce from dilution with ice. So we are going to go 2 ounces and 3 ounces. And if this doesn't cut it for her, she can always add more pineapple juice because, well, she loves pineapple juice. What else? We need some sort of bitters in this, right? Yep. Not the Japanese bitters. Nope, that's not so good. Typhoon Tiki bitters from Embitterment. That seems like a plan. There we go. IR weak. All right. Just going to go 1, 2 dashes. That works out well. All right. I have some allspice bitters, so we're going to go with a dash of the allspice bitters. Right there. And we're going to put some ice in that. What are we going to call this? We're going to call this Stars Sazerac. Yeah. There's a couple of squirts of absinthe in there for you. How's that? We got ice. We lid this up. All right, that's all shaken up and good. We're not gonna do any crushed ice or anything. We're just gonna dump this into a mug. Do I got a mug down here I can use? I do. I have many down here. Do you want a handle or not?
Yeah, I want a handle.
She wants a handle.
Keith says re-high. Elizabeth says, I dub thee drink, drink, drunk.
Drink, drink, drunk. All right. Oh, it's so foamy because it's got pineapple in it. Yay. Okay, so this goes in here. There we go. We are prepping for the party, but we got nothing in terms of garnishes at the moment, so no garnishing on this. She's just going to have to drink this up. But first, before you drink that up, we have here,
oh my gosh.
We have the Necronomicon Tarot deck. So we're going to see how good the Necronomicon Tarot deck is at figuring out
if I'll like this drink.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So I just gave that just a quick riffle shuffle, and I'm going to let you cut this wherever you would like. All right. That good?
Yep.
Okay. We got 2 options here. I can flip the card over like this, or I can flip the card over like that. What do you want?
Flip it over like...
Flip it over on the horizontal side.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we have here? We have the 2 of Wands.
So going off on an adventure.
Okay. It is an adventure. We have no idea what this will taste like. Yes, we do.
Happy wife.
So she made the face, not that face. She made the other face, the happy wife face. Yes. Okay, so enough of these shaken cocktails this evening, because the Sazerac is not a shaken cocktail. It is a stirred cocktail. Sometimes just built right in the glass. But we're not going to do that. Sazerac. We're going to go 2 ounces of booze. So that's going to be 1 ounce of cognac, 1 ounce of rye, a 1/4 ounce of, and some recipes will call for a sugar cube and grind up the sugar cube. Others will call for other kinds of sweeteners and that sort of thing. You could use date syrup or whatever you happen to have on hand. We're going to use a simple syrup that has just a tinge of demerara in it because I just like the depth that the demerara sugar brings to it. It's essentially 3-to-1 white sugar to demerara in this. So, and just a 1/4 ounce is going to go in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put that into these glasses, and these glasses will be coated with an absinthe, right? We want to use the absinthe that you started with, which is the absente, right? Because that'll give us a bit nice baseline. So first things first, we're going to start with, well, what we should do is start with the sweetener. Okay. So you can tell that is demerara because it is brown. But this will affect the color of the cocktail. Just chill, folks. It'll be fine. So 1/4 ounce. Now, one of the recipes that Amanda found calls for something called Steens, which I had never heard of, but apparently, and judging from just the little bit that got on my finger and the smell of it, they say it tastes something between maple syrup and sorghum, or maple syrup and molasses. And I got to say, I don't disagree. I think that's a fairly accurate reading. But at a 1/4 ounce, it would take over the cocktail, I think. And as she pointed out, it is viscous stuff. And she had a whole whopping hard time getting that stirred in and mixed in. So we're not going to use that this evening. She graciously gave me some so I can play around with it at a later date. 1 ounce of cognac in each of these glasses.
And you were also going to give her a stirring lesson.
Was I?
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to come up here and you can stir one and I'll stir one? Just watch your hair because there's this candle right here.
She's got her hair up today,
Turn my
so.
hair up too. All right, keep.
Just saying, I really don't want people burning themselves, Colleen. All right, so I'm going to go on the left-hand side here. We're going to go with the Rittenhouse.
Okay.
And the Rittenhouse is what you've used in the past, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So there's the Rittenhouse. When it comes to Star, when she expresses an interest in rye, she prefers the Rittenhouse over the Overholt, like by a 3-to-1 margin. She really does not like the old Overholt. I just think they're very different from one another. I think the old Overholt comes across as being much more yeasty. So I don't know. We'll see which one of these works better. Maybe, maybe, maybe there. I don't know. All right. And did you want to go ahead and put the bitters in now? Okay. So I think the recipe you called for was a total of 8 dashes of bitters, 6 of Angostura and 2 of orange. Peychaud's.
Yes.
I'm an idiot. Of course it's Peychaud's. Peychaud's was designed by a pharmacist in the French Quarter. His building is still there. It's now a collector's. They sell collector's items like collector's guns, blades of different types, and stamps and currency. So yeah, but it's still there, and the sign still says Antoine's Pharmacy on it.
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It feels like one of those drinking birds. And then orange. And we both have the same orange here. We're using the Regans. I've managed to get burned through my Angostura bitters finally. My Angostura orange. Right? So we're going 1, 2, 1, 2. I like the dasher top on these guys. Significantly better than the plastic dasher top there. Okay, so we're going to load this up with ice, and then we are going to stir them. So I will give you this little stir wand for you, and I of course will take the Cthulhu head because it's that time. All right, I shouldn't say it's that time because I use that all the time. All the time is Cthulhu time, right? Okay. You really just need enough ice to come up well over the top of the liquid line.
Yep.
Anything else that's sitting above that liquid line isn't doing anything to curl. Okay, so spoon, right? Spoon has a back. The back goes against the back of the glass, right? Holding your spoon at the twirly bit, right? The technical point, the twirly bit, between these 2 fingers and these 2 fingers, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to take sort of a push-pull motion with this. You're going to pull towards you. If I can get this right, okay. So you're going to do this, right? So as you're pulling with the top 2 fingers, pushing with the bottom 2 fingers. And it feels really awkward when you start to do it. But then you'll find that what ends up happening is it'll twist in your hand. And what you're trying to do is avoid breaking up any of the ice. Right? You don't want to be too vigorous about the ice, but you want to get this diluted and cold.
You can't be right. I was going clockwise.
And you'll feel.
Get better going counterclockwise.
You can do that, like such. No, this is clockwise for me, so you can't do this.
Clockwise, yeah.
Clockwise is better.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, whichever way. But you want that back of the spoon to be running around the back of the or the edge of the glass, right? You can feel the glass starting to get cold.
Yes.
And you can always pull this out. Just tap a little on the side of your hand, taste it, see if it's about where you want it. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
You good?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
So the next thing that we really ought to have done ahead of time is to take your glasses and cool them, chill them, and rinse them with a little bit of absinthe. Now, you can do the traditional, which is to pour a little absinthe in the glass and then twirl it around. What I kind of like to do is just use a spritzer like this guy, and that'll just put a nice, fine, even coating of absinthe in the glass.
I was doing the rinsing the other way and just finding it was just getting too messy. So
Right.
that's why I got the mister.
Right. But does your mister have the absinthe in it?
Yes.
You want to pull that out and...
Oh, yes. I didn't bring it out.
No, you showed it to us, but you did not. What's loaded up in here is Mount Defiance absinthe. So, the Mount Defiance will take over a little bit. And you're still going to want to swirl it a little bit, coat the inside of the glass. Now, if you're really, really good and you don't mind breaking a lot of glassware, you'll see the guys in New Orleans, they'll take the glass like this, and they'll spin it in the air. They'll let it go, and it'll spin, and it'll coat the inside of the glass, and it comes down. They'll just like fling the excess absinthe out. We're just going to drop it on the bar mat because we can do that. That's what bar mats are for. Yep. And then these get strained into the glass. And in order to do that, you should be using a julep strainer, which looks remarkably like this, and
I've been using my Hawthorne.
works just fine. You want to use a Hawthorne. Demonstrate that you can use a Hawthorne. You put the julep strainer either way you would like. You can go this way and put it in, or and I've now been converted over to putting it in backwards like this, and I think, and I think this just works out really, really well. So I've got the Rittenhouse on this side, and we need one more piece of this puzzle, which is a little bit of a twirl of some lemon rind. And I'm just going to do, just taking a channel knife, doing a cut, and then I'm just going to split the lemon rind, and you can twist it, drop it in, twist, drop it in. Okay, sippy sippy, and cheers, and then we'll swap. Yes.
I love the lemon with that.
Yeah, you
and
get
the absinthe is so good. Like just the hint of it, and then because I happen to like the licorice, I like the taste of it.
Feels to me like we got good dilution on that.
Yes.
A little more dilution. I mean, was it too much dilution?
No.
Could be a little watery on mine. You want to switch?
Yeah, the switch. That's my size.
I'm looking for the lipstick.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why she wears lipstick, so we can tell, right? The nose is almost identical on these.
Yeah, maybe there might be two because they almost taste the same.
Yeah, these are almost. As soon as I said that, there's a little something at the end.
Something more in that one.
Yep, there's a little something at the back end that is different.
Yes.
I was about to completely agree with you. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure I can distinguish the. Oh wait, what's that? You know, sort of thing.
But that's why I like this version.
Yep.
It just, I think the cognac mellows out the
Right,
spiciness of
right.
what the rye is.
And we have to bear in mind that we're the only thing we're differentiating here
Brand of the rye.
is the brand of the rye.
Yeah.
Both ryes are made in similar ways, right? I think their mash bills are pretty darn close to one another. I'd have to check on that. But the other thing is, we would probably notice more of a difference if this was a straight up rye.
Right.
But we're cutting it with the cognac, right? So you wouldn't expect there to be a whole lot of difference here.
Yeah,
So
but-
what does this tell you? You can go down to New Orleans and you can order a Sazerac, and if it's a split base Sazerac, if you're, as long as your rye is 100 proof and bottled in bond, I wouldn't worry so much about what it is, right? Yep.
And this is officially called, in the book, they call this the Taylor Birds because they wanted to merge, they wanted to kind of give tribute to the three individuals that were involved. Bird being the importer
Yeah.
of
Although the Taylor Bird version uses the steens. Yeah, that's, yeah.
True, yes,
So
yes. So it was all about Louisiana and everything. So
because isn't it always about Louisiana?
It's always about NOLA. So I kind of liked it.
So we know we've got a good base. Either of these will work for us. The next question up is it's just a side ingredient, right? That's the absinthe.
Right.
But how much of a difference is the absinthe actually making to the cocktail? So there's a little difference between the Overholt and the rye, but just very little.
Very nice.
Okay, so let's see if we can tell the difference with different absinthes.
Okay.
Because, okay, so we've tried, so what do we have? So we've tried the absente that Amanda has. So I'm going to hand that back to you.
So we don't need this anymore?
No, we got us. We got the drinks. We got the drinks right here. And then I will ask you back in a moment
Yes.
to rinse these out actually, so that we can do the next step. I'll put that over here. So the next thing I think we should. So I need that and that. Now So I was reading the other day about the drinking culture in New Orleans, and one of the issues with New Orleans is that people know that New Orleans is a cocktail town, and so they come down to Bourbon Street and they get absolutely hammered and ruin the rest of their vacation because they've gotten hammered on that very first night, and they're sick the rest of the time. And they wonder how the New Orleans natives can possibly do this. The trick is they don't. New Orleans natives are professionals at this. They take their time. They understand that it's a marathon. Now, they may eventually wind up at the hammered point, but they're not going to wind up there off of, 2-yard-long hurricanes and puking in the streets that night, maybe later. But no, yeah, that's great. And so in that grand tradition of knowing what we're doing and taking the marathon approach to this, by the way, are you okay with the Overholt?
Yes,
That's
I am.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is we are going to make a Sazerac.
I should know this. You gave me the rye.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did I give you the Rittenhouse? Okay. Would you rather have the Overholt, or are you good? You don't care?
Yeah,
You want the Overholt? Okay. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to make one Sazerac. I'm going to pour it into 2 glasses, and those 2 glasses will have the absinthe rinse. And so that'll also give us a better
okay.
chance of knowing how much the absinthe is affecting the cocktail itself. Star, you're welcome to take a sip of any of this if you would be interested in just seeing what the differences are or anything along those lines. I do have to step to the side because I have a whiteboard up here that's telling me what I should be saying and reminding me of things.
We got the bad face.
We got the bad face. We got the bad face, Neener. One of the nice things about going to New Orleans and me ordering Sazeracs at various bars is there are plenty of things for Star to order, and one of Star's favorite things to order in comparison to the Sazerac would be the sidecar. And the sidecar is a perfectly reasonable New Orleans drink, unlike the Ramos Gin Fizz, which is definitely a NOLA drink, but it is just not a reasonable cocktail to be ordering. All right, so what are we going to do? We are going to grab one of these. Do you want to go? So from this point on, we're only going to use one rye, right? Would you prefer the Overholt or the Rittenhouse?
Just had the Overholt.
Overholt.
I'm very familiar with the Rittenhouse.
Okay, so let's go with 1 ounce of the Overholt. You could be saying, but Pooch, you're violating the rules, right? You say put the sweet in first because you want to clean out the jigger. Most other rules are things like put in the cheap ingredients first, and the rye is definitely not the cheapest ingredient. The sugar syrup is. Relax, there's essentially 2 ingredients in this thing, right? So it doesn't really matter here, but we are going to go 1/4 ounce of the simple syrup. And actually, this is probably a little sweeter than what you're used to because I don't know, did you use a 2-to-1 syrup? No, you used a 1-to-1.
I actually just used sugar cube.
Sugar cube? Okay.
Yeah.
We're doing the.
cognac.
Doing the cognac, right? I'm like, we're doing the Overholt. Wait, I just put the Overholt in. Okay. So then we go to the cognac. Should have just put speed pourers in these things. All right. So there's an ounce of the cognac. Ta-da. Okay. I would kind of like to give the absinthe as much of a chance to work through here. So instead of going with 8 dashes of bitters, which I think is a little bit of overkill, quite frankly, for the Sazerac, we're going to switch it up. We are going to use Bitterman's Burlesque bitters for the rest of our Sazeracs. And I'm just going to go with 3 dashes of it. So there's 1, 2, 3. And again, the Rittenhouse and the Overholt were close enough to where I don't think really we would have been unhappy with either one of those, especially cut by the cognac. So, okay. So there we go. There's our base. Throw some ice in there. Am I missing anything? God, that looks low to me for some reason. But it's not, right? It's 1/4 ounce of the syrup, it's an ounce of Overholt, and it's an ounce of cognac. So we're good. All right. See what happens when you don't try to explain it? You just start stirring. It just works fine, right? Can I do the double stir? No. Nope. I am the farthest thing from ambidextrous you've ever seen. I am so strongly dominant, right? Yeah. Oh. Okay. All right. We know what the absente is like. So let's try. We're just going to go with the Mount Defiance, right? Just because I got it. It's here. We're just going to go bingo, bango, bongo, mist. There we go. No, not M-I-S-T, M-I-S-S-E-D. There we go. That's great.
Or are you doing 2 glasses? Maybe that's why it's low. Like, you need to do 2.
Nope, because I'm going to split this. I'm going to split this.
Okay.
Yep. This is what I mean about us not getting too hammered. One riffle shuffle. I'm going to do my little cut here, and then we'll see. Cut it anywhere you like. All right. Flip over or flip up? Long ways. So we have star. We have the 6 of Wands reversed.
Let's see. I'm going to look it up in your book because I don't have these memorized.
And it's a different deck, right,
Yeah.
than what Star is completely used to. The Necronomicon deck is like, it's weird. It's weird shit, man.
It's just a different smell.
6 of Wands. Rule of Fire.
Oh.
Inverted. Insolence. Betrayal. A traitor.
Oh. Are we gonna like the absente much more? Did the burlesque bitters betray us? This is like horrid. Oh.
Changed it up.
So now we're like, oh, what is this? Oh. The lemon still comes through.
Yes,
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, it's nice though.
this is not a very big piece of lemon that we're using here. We drop it in there and it bang, it just takes over the nose.
Yeah. But I think it also is with the absinthe too. I think that just makes it smell so much better. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that is so good.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that is. I mean, this is okay.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to compare to the Rittenhouse?
I mean, I already know, but I mean, woo. Oh my gosh, it's like night and day.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
this is
Maybe the betrayal is the Rittenhouse.
only the Overholt, but switch up the absinthe. Oh,
Yeah.
and that burlesque bitters.
Yes.
It's
Oh my gosh.
that is a
This one's
much
good.
better drink than that one.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow. This is really good. It's
I'm
so
definitely-
awesome.
yes.
Bye. It's
Yeah.
so good. I'm not going to drink the rest of that other Sazerac.
Right. Do you need any help with anything?
Yeah, if you could rinse this, that would be awesome for me. Yep. Okay, so that is the Mount Defiance. Now, so the other aspect here is the Mount Defiance rocks in at 70% alcohol, right? So this is 140 proof, whereas the Absente is nowhere near that, right?
Right.
Yeah, nowhere near.
At 110.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a little bit of difference there, and maybe that just means we're lushes. Is that what you think? But that works so good. Yeah.
It's really well balanced, and I mean nothing is coming forward particularly well. It's really
Everything just merges
It
together in
merges
this wonderful
well together.
flavor, and that flavor develops over time in your mouth. Yeah. Oh, that's really nice.
That one's good.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if Star likes that one. I still doubt it, but you know she might. Okay.
It's sweeter.
So what are we gonna do next? Okay, we're gonna grab this.
Still got the face.
No.
So here we go. We're gonna go 1 ounce Overholt. Now don't drink all of that, Amanda, because you want to be able to compare it to this next one, right?
Yes, okay, all right.
So there's the Overholt, the cognac,
But I'm thirsty.
have some water,
Where's your water glass?
1/4 ounce of almost 2-to-1 simple syrup, with a little Demerara added to it. We want 3 dashes. We're going to go with the burlesque from this point on. Okay, 3 dashes of the burlesque.
And that was Bitterman's burlesque.
Yep. 3 dashes, Bitterman's Burlesque Bitters. You're wondering what that looks like. It looks like this. That's the bottle. Marie Laveau or Sethra Laveau, I don't know, for those of you that are Stephen
I'll
Bruce fans.
put a link to the bitters.
So you know, one of the big differences, if just visually, is the fact that the Burlesque Bitters does not have any pink hue to it whatsoever.
Right.
And so the Sazerac, this guy is brown.
Yeah.
It is not at all pink. And you'll note that the original Sazerac was very, very pink.
Yeah.
But how are you getting around it being pink with 6 dashes of Peychaud's Bitters, which, oh my gosh, Peychaud's is red, vibrant red. That's still really good. I mean, look at this red. Look at this. You put 6 dashes of this, you're getting red. It's like red food coloring. Okay, next up. So we're gonna do this. Wait, I should have 4 of these. Do you have 2 of those glasses 2 of these glasses in front of you?
I have 2.
Yeah, she has 2.
Okay, I need 1 of them.
Okay, let's get rid of the original.
We'll get rid of the original.
I'll bring this up.
Turns out we don't like the original.
I mean,
It's not. We do.
did,
We
but
do. That's not true.
suddenly just happened.
It's suddenly like, whoa! The card was right. Betrayal, right? You know, our loyalty was there to the original, and then it's like, nope, no, it's not. Nope, nope.
Should I do it the right?
Just toss it. Yeah. So we're gonna go here.
And then what
Whoa! Whoa!
absence? Yeah, it was like, which absence are we doing?
Sorry, forgot about that. Now I got a lot of kidding with the time that I went to a absinthe class online, right? And we were talking about what absinthe do you have and that sort of thing. And I went, oh, you know, the first absinthe I ever got was the Le Tourment. And they went, yeah, you know, that's not actually an absinthe. I'm like, what? What do you mean it's not an yeah, it's a wormwood liqueur with some flavorings in it and that sort of thing. And I'm like, but it works. Yeah, it's like, oh, it works as an absinthe. And they're like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then I said, oh, but I've got the Mount Defiance. And they were like, okay, all is forgiven, you know, this kind of thing.
What about herb salt? Because the book was talking about something called herb salt.
Yeah, herb saint or herb salt. Yeah.
Sorry. French accent.
Ho, 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 ho. Yeah, sorry, I can't do that. Nope, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray. Yeah. So we're just going to do this over the counter, because otherwise it'll just spill everywhere, right? And then we'll do this. That's a little bit much for me to just toss. There we go. There you go. Fine. Now we'll do that. I will say on the La Tourmente that, or Les Tourmentes, that I really like the color on it. Did I do something wrong on the previous one? Because it looks like we've got more alcohol here. Did I forget the cognac or something on the previous one? Wow, weird.
I'm sure someone online will tell us.
Yep. Is Keith online? Because Keith is really good at catching those sorts of things. So you will have to excuse. We've been talking about this all night long because Amanda's been here since like 3:30 or so. The fact that my brain is not functional today. I was like, well, I don't know why it's not functional. Because I spent most of the day at the Air and Space Museum with good friends Matt and Gabby down in Richmond, and then afterwards we came back, changed into costumes, ran off to Burke to go to a Halloween party with a good friend Debbie, right? And spent several hours there, rushed home, drove past a neighborhood party to make sure it was still going on. And it was like, oh yeah, it's still going on. Okay, so we're gonna rush over there to catch it in its last legs, right? Last legs. We were there for 3 hours and then came home and we're like, all right, so this is the exact same as the previous cocktail, except for the absinthe is different. We're using Le Tourmente.
So it's not licorice? You said I don't smell it. It doesn't smell like licorice.
No, it's got a very different smell to it. The lemon doesn't come through as much.
No.
So now we have the Eight of Swords.
Eight of Swords.
This is the one that I called out earlier, where
Yeah.
the woman is standing in the doorway, and there's a whole bunch of dead guys with swords through them. Bad news and crisis. Oh, setback.
We'll see.
So maybe they were right about Le Tourmente.
Yes, maybe. So this one is like, I lose the spiciness. I mean, like, even though it's well blended, like there's still that hint of spice with the one that we liked.
There's some aspect of the absinthe that is missing. The Mount Defiance is so good. Mount Defiance bottle. At ABC, I've already gone through a bottle of this. This is just amazingly good stuff. Last absinthe to try here. Okay, so we're gonna go 1 ounce cognac. All right, so there's 3 dashes of the burlesque. There's 1 ounce of cognac. There's 1 ounce of Old Overholt, and there's a 1/4 ounce of the syrup in there. Okay, so we need ice. I'm gonna try and rush this a little bit. Carré. Okay, this is the Absinthe Superior. This comes in at 60% alcohol, so it's 120 proof. So it's sitting right between the Absinthe and the Mount Defiance, right? Sazerac, Marie Laveau, Burlesque, New Orleans, Old Overholt with the Vieux Carré absinthe, right?
There it is. Nice.
I mean, it's called Vieux Carré. The Vieux Carré is another major cocktail from New Orleans. So this could be good. Uh-oh.
Still not as good as the other one, as the Mount Defiance. Leather. It's like, I get like a leather.
Really?
It's like, yeah.
This is the card, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna flip
Turn it
this way.
whichever way you want. Oh, it's
8 of cups.
8 of cups.
Stagnation of water.
Stagnation of water.
Temporary success. Lack of motivation.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yes, agreed.
Overholt Mount Defiance Burlesque
one.
Bitters is the
Yes.
winner, hands down. Awesome.
Oh my gosh. Amazing. Oh gosh.
That's so good. That is so amazing. All right, so we wanted to do one more thing before we left, right? We want, you know what we want? We want a 4 square in front of you. Sagacity is the right word that we want for this. We're gonna go 1 ounce of this. Why are we pulling 4 square? 4 square Exceptional Cask Series is the closest thing to bourbon you're gonna get from a rum, and I think that's where we want to go with this. Okay, so we're gonna try this. because Amanda had asked about what about changing the base spirit, right? And the base spirit for this is rye and cognac. So we're going to switch it up. We're going to go cognac and rum. And I'm hoping that the 1/4 ounce of the sugar syrup with Demerara in it is going to make the rum sing just a little bit more. We need the bitters. Not forgetting the bitters. Synth in there, right?
Yes.
Mount
And
Defiance.
we're going Mount Defiance.
I like this one too.
This is really good.
This
is
is good
really good.
too.
Yeah. This just tells you that a high quality absinthe makes a
Yes.
difference in this cocktail.
Yes.
And it is the smallest ingredient in the cocktail.
But everything blends so well together.
Right.
Like something about the ingredients that then these just match.
5 of discs inverted. So what we have here is it looks like some sort of spellcaster or something. He's got a book with elder signs written on the outside, and people are throwing rocks at him. But I got to say, he's wearing a black robe, and he's got that typical black goatee that screams evil sorcerer thing.
Loss of possessions, chaos, discord, blaming others.
I like this one better.
Yeah.
You like this one better. No,
This is definitely a close second.
This is good,
But,
yeah.
And I like to switch up with the rum. The other rum that I tried was the Matusalem. And that one, well, of course, also there was the banana syrup too as well. So maybe
But
that
the
was
Matusalem, though, is
Yeah.
much, much sweeter and not at all in the same flavor profile. So this, again, goes to, let's switch up the base spirit. Let's go with rum.
Yeah.
Hold up a second.
Yes.
What kind of rum are you going to put in this? Because this would be a completely different drink if you went with, say, a Jamaican rum.
Right.
Right?
With Mount
That's the winner on the evening. Number 2,
Very
and
close,
surprisingly, is changing out the rye for a rum, and choosing the right rum, the Sagacity rum, which, okay, so let's be real here. The price point difference between Old Overholt bottled and bond, which is 20, 25, something like this, and the Sagacity, which is clocking in at 90, somewhere along those lines. Now,
I'm glad that we had 2 winners. All right.
so we have done a drink for Star, so that she will be happy. Are you still happy?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did I do that drink? I just based that drink off of the standard punch recipe: 1 sour, 2 sweet, 3 strong, 4 weak. The 4 weak I split between 3 ounces of pineapple juice and 1 ounce, presuming that we got enough dilution over the ice. Star likes it. We've had a lot of fun here playing around with Sazeracs this evening, switching up the base spirits, doing a split, doing the Old Overholt versus the Rittenhouse. What I should do at this point is say, hey folks, it's been great. It's been fun. Tomorrow is Halloween Eve, or Samhain. Not Samhain. Samhain. Enjoy as you will. However you choose to celebrate that holiday, enjoy it, do it, have some fun. And here we are at LoveCraft Cocktails. Our name has to do with horror, but we love making craft cocktails for you. So enjoy. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We will see you next episode after
Party aftermath.